The beginner's guide to Street Fighter V, a very common question that I get asked all the time. Hey, I'm new to Street Fighter. Any tips for a new player like me and how I can get started? My answer to them, hey yo, Edda! Go ahead and put me in a live footage. Always start off with the basics. And when I mean the basics, I mean the absolute basics. You want to head straight over to the challenge mode where it gives you options that you can do to understand Street Fighter from start to finish. I always recommend demonstrations at first. Volume 1 pretty much gives you the basics of the basics. Basic controls, normal attacks, special moves, the triggers, standing guards, throws, and the list goes on and on and on. And that's just for beginner. You have intermediate, where things get a little bit more in depth, expert, and then after that it starts leading to actual character guides. So from 1 all the way to 5, of course, season patches happen, characters get buffs, characters get nerfs, so each one, it basically gives you an in-depth breakdown on what this character also has to offer. Volume 6 comes in with V-Shift. You get to learn about one of the latest mechanics that come into the game, where it's a frame 1 invisible backdash that allows for an extra defense option. After you do that, I highly recommend doing the trials. This is basically a combo breakdown, and it gives you a gist of what this character wants to do when it comes down to bread and butter. So after those basics are done, this is where things get a little bit more interesting, and you actually have to know yourself as a player just a little bit. All right, so you got to ask yourself, what type of playstyle do you enjoy doing? Do you like to rush down? Do you like to zone? Do you like to control the space? There's a character that fits each playstyle, and you have to find out which one are you. Once you figure that out, right, we have characters. Ryu, he's pretty good at controlling the space. Fireball for zoning. Chun-Li, amazing neutral control. Mika, she's a 50-50 heavy mix-up machine. Rashid, he's able to apply good pressure. Alex, he's a real good space control monster. Akuma, he's a full versatile demon. Manat, zoner, fog zoner, and the list goes on and on, right? So once you figure out which character fits your playstyle, you're gonna take them into training mode and just start getting a feel for what they do, what they want. So for this video, I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the basics and just use Ryu and Ken, right? So as this is actually loading in, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, turn the post notification bell on. Thank you. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in the training mode. You have picked your character that fits your playstyle. Now, just get a feel for who this character is. Start out each button, get a feel, see what each button reaches, get a feel for the specials. So he has a fireball, he has a Tatsu, which is a quarter circle back fireball, he has a DP, which is the dragon motion, he has a super, which is double quarter circle forward, punch. Oh, he has the donkey kick also. So we just pressed each button. We now got a slight little feel for what his buttons look like. Let's go ahead and put the opponent to block all and see where we can space ourselves at to get the maximum range for each button and where we want to generally place ourselves at. So of course, jabs are a little bit short-ended, so you want to be about right there to get the most range out of it. Standing medium kick is a little bit further back, so it's probably about a full square. And so now, since we didn't press each button at the max range to see how each one fares out, let's go ahead and take a look at what each move is actually on block. This taps into frame data. I know this is a very tedious subject for a lot of new players. If you're aiming to get better at Street Fighter, frame data is very important. I can't stress that enough. Going over frame data, you have these boxes that's in the top left and the top right corner. If it's blue, that means I'm plus, I'm in the right. The top right, which is Ken's side, is going to be red to let him know that he's in the wrong. So standing jab for Ryu is +2 on block. What that means? You have a +2 advantage to press another button. Standing medium punch, it is also +2 on block. Another good button. A button is always considered good when it's plus. Good buttons can also be considered safe. You just can't press a button afterwards. So with these buttons, you normally just space it well to where you can possibly get a space trap set up. A low forward, which is -1, another good button, but it's safe. Meaning you can't press a button after this, right? Because Ryu, which is the top left, he's -1. -4 or higher, he could be punished. So as long as it's 0, -1, or -2, you could throw this button out and not worried about getting punished. So frame data, and of course they are providing the pictures to let us see exactly what move it is. All right, so as always, how I always say it, frame data looks hella confusing when you first look at it for the first time, but you don't necessarily need to look at everything if you're just starting. I always suggest looking at startup, what it is on hit, on block, and that's about it. Just focus on those three. Let's go ahead and see how we can look at this frame data and put together potential combos on hit. So let's say, for example, I hit somebody with a standing light punch. It's a 3-frame startup and it's +4 on hit, right? So if this button hits the opponent, I have 4 frames to land something else. So as long as it's 4 frames or faster, I can take advantage of this hit, string together another attack. Sounds confusing? I'll show you. Standing jab is +4 on hit. I have 4 frames to land something else before my opponent is able to block. Standing light punch is a 3-frame startup, right? So that means it's fast enough to hit it again. That means I've gained another +4 to land something else. Now you also have to pay attention to spacing and pushback, because with each button that you actually land, the opponent starts to push away from you. So what button can I swing in order to get another hit on for +4? Good old standing light kick. So boom, 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 boom. That's how you put together some combos. That don't work. Alright, so I guess that's why Ryus always do Tatsu. Alright, that was a quick information session for me because I don't necessarily play Ryu to full extent. Alright, so when going over frame traps, you want to make sure you have guard all on, and you want to go to record guard recovery action and make sure you match that 3-frame to get it out on the reversal frame. In this situation, this is actually mimicking somebody who can actually be mashing on you in real game. So now you're able to practice how to stop them. We all know, and we've already discussed, that Ryu's standing media punch is a 5-frame startup. So with basic subtraction, 5 subtract 2 puts me at 3, meaning it's gonna beat a 3-frame light kick. So in this situation, when you beat the 3-frame, you now land counter hit, which is going to be in the left side of the corner, and it's going to pop up saying counter hit. What does this mean? You now gain 2 frames of advantage on hit, meaning you can land something that you normally wouldn't land if it wasn't a counter hit. Standing medium into standing medium. Why does this work? Standing medium is +2. It's also a 5-frame startup. Same situation. 5 subtract 2 puts you at 3. You can beat the 3-frame. The player who actually likes to wake up with buttons, right? Just because they're hitting buttons while blocking doesn't mean they're gonna not wake up and try to press buttons also. Go ahead and set that to record. Bada bing, bada boom. Get on reversal frame. How can we stop this person from successfully waking up with a button? Right? This is where frame data also comes into play, very important. In this situation, on dash up, you're a +4, meaning you have 4 frames of advantage to apply a button as a meaty in order to stop this person from pressing a button. So now, this is where things get very lab rat heavy. Just figuring out different situations where you could stop them from pressing buttons. I kind of zoned out from the video because I'm just labbing right now to see exactly what works and what doesn't work. So like I said, I don't really play Ryu, but this is what you would do with a character that you don't know. You'll come into the training room and just see what works and what don't work. See? That is what happens when you just zone out and just start labbing. You're looking for answers to see what works and what don't work. If your opponent in training mode succeeds with a wake up button, that's perfectly fine. You're gonna mess up, but you just keep trying it until it works, until you get into the rhythm where it's just muscle memory, where every time you knock somebody down, you're gonna get that attack that you're looking for, right? If they block, cool, put them in a frame trap. Press your plus buttons, get them blocking, make them guess. Let's say you're somebody that actually struggles with getting specials out, right? I have a regimen for that. You come on player one side and you practiced on whatever motion you're actually having troubles with, right? Get used to timing it one time, press it, and then just continue to roll with it till you feel comfortable. The moment you second guess it, guess what? Start over, do it again, right? If you feel like you're struggling strictly on player two side, guess what? You swap character position, come over here and start doing it. Bada bing, bada boom. Keep doing it until you feel comfortable. You look in the middle of the screen and you aim up, you see that timer says unlimited. You are not being rushed to do this, boy. You do this until you feel comfortable. Nobody's rushing you. But the biggest thing to always understand and know at the end of the day is that getting better will never happen overnight. You have to put your blood, sweat, extra tears into this game. And when I say extra tears, I mean you want to pick up your controller and sling that mother lover sometimes because you done took so many L's. You have to get pushed to the limit. You have to fail. Alright? I don't want to be the person to say this, but sometimes you have to speak the truth in order for somebody to fully understand. You have to fail. You have to fail. You will never know what's wrong with you if you're always succeeding and winning. When you lose, you get to point out what happened. Fix what happened. Practice what went wrong. I love my people, I do. But the time frames that they be giving me when I ask them how long you've been practicing, how long you've been training, and they give me like, oh, I've been playing for a few hours. Oh, I just started playing ranked. I'm like, bro, how you expecting results already and you just started? You're still in the phase where you have to spread your wings and fly. You have to flap a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You don't have them fully developed wings just yet, telling you, man. Oh, and you know what? I'm glad I said that. Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest pet peeve I feel that a lot of people hate to do, but it's one of the best things ever. Free plays. I'm just gonna pick a random one, right? Say I'm Jiggy, say I'm Viet, right? And I wanted to come back and look at what I did wrong if I lost this game. I want to pay attention to where I got hit. I want to pay attention to when I got knocked down and just take note to where I took damage at, right? Turn both of the key points on, right? All right. I got hit as soon as I jumped, he DP'd me. Perfect DP on his part. All right. I got thrown right there because I didn't tech the throw, all right? Throws cause no threat mid-screen. You're not wrong against taking them, right? So now we're in the middle, scuffing it out, throwing them bows, good V reversal, good DP. All right, now I'm in the corner, I just got thrown, I'm blocking. See? Just like that. When you watch these matches, you get to see where you went wrong. Pinpoint everything. Watch where you got hit. Take note to it. And then just think to yourself, okay, if I wouldn't have done this option right here, I wouldn't have took X amount of damage. Now I know not to do that no more. I'm going to try a different option and see what that do. Will I guess right? Who knows? Put yourself in a situation and find out. It's never going to be something that you're going to just wake up the next day and be good at unless you're just Almighty God himself. All right, you have to put in the blood, sweat, and tears in order to get the results that you're looking for. All right, nobody woke up like this. So it's obvious if you made it to this part of the video, you enjoyed it. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you think, and of course, the road to 100K has started, and I cannot get there without the help of y'all. Y'all are my backbone. Let's see if we can push there. And go ahead and end it while I push it.